And now we're joined by Bhumi Pednekar, actor and climate warrior. Bhumi, thank you so much for joining us. You've been a passionate advocate on the climate change issue. Can you tell us why this is so important to you?
Hello, everyone. It is a matter of importance to me because it is the largest looming threat humanity has ever faced. I don't think we as a generation realize the crisis that we are in. We are in a state of emergency, and not just me. This should be important to all of us. You know, we are risking our future generations to come. We are risking our future. When you look at all the scientific data and what researchers and science has been telling us for so many years is that we've reached a tipping point and we are very close to going to the other side. I mean, just look at what's happening around us. We've just come out of a 2-year pandemic. We have gone through an economic crisis. There are various smaller countries that are going through very, very bad financial and economic crisis. And a lot of it has to do with climate change related problems. I don't think we realize that all the materialistic and all the superficial things that we all are running behind, well, I'm also a part of that race, but there has to be a certain amount of responsibility that has to come from us as individuals to try and solve the problem.
Bhumi, this is Amitabh.
The lack of empathy.
What do you think, Bhumi, are the most pressing challenges that we have when it comes to dealing with climate change?
The lack of empathy, the lack of care, the lack of, oh, everything is going to be all right. The lack of ignorance is something that really concerns me. There's been a movement globally over the past few years that has been led by young adults, and yet we aren't listening to them. So that's something that concerns me. Just not a concern, it actually gives me sleepless nights. And as an aware citizen of this planet, which is our only home, I really, really, really hope that, we reach a point where we aren't just talking and doing these discussions and there's actual action that's taken.
Bhumi, hi, good afternoon. What do you see as some of the mitigation efforts as a society, as individuals, and as policy?
I feel the mitigation efforts that I feel that need to be looked at are more on an individualistic level. We definitely need stronger policies. We need world leaders to recognize that we are in a state of emergency and the effect and the adverse effects of climate change. We need to address them, definitely. But for me, I feel like on an individualistic level, there is so much that we can do, right from our consumption habits, right from making sure that there's enough awareness created, small little things from not using single-use plastic or using plastic sensibly, reducing our waste. Cities like Mumbai, Delhi produce tons and tons of waste every day. I don't think there's any thought that goes into us when we are discarding things. For years, we've been hearing these terms, recycle, upcycle, reuse. Now is the time to implement it. And I'm sorry, I might sound repetitive, but the point is that we have reached that tipping point. We need to become more sensitive towards our planet. It can be rainwater harvesting in your societies. It could be recycling your waste. It could just be segregating your waste at source. It could be planting trees, a responsible consumption of natural resources. And yes, it might not affect us today, but it is going to affect us tomorrow. There's no way we can escape it. There's no way you can escape the wrath of nature. So yeah, I really hope that, our generation becomes the generation of regeneration. We become responsible towards our actions and we become a part of the solution.
Thank you so much for joining us, Bhumi.